This is another of the video blogs for St. George's Church, and it's my pleasure today to be talking with Eleanor Emerson, who will answer 3 questions. The first question is simply, what attracted you to St. George's originally?
When I came with my family to Berlin, my husband had got a new job in Berlin. We had 2 small children. This was the beginning of 1996, in the middle of a very hard winter. There was nobody around outdoors, no other families to be seen. I felt completely alone. I had to look up the telephone book in those days before internet and mobile phones were common. I found the telephone number of St. George's. I rang up, and the friendly Scottish voice of the priest at the time made me feel relaxed straight away, and I came along on my own to find sanctuary in St. George's in between all of the chaos of removal and trying to find contacts for the children. The English-speaking environment, of course, was very important. I'm from the Church of Scotland. Behind me you'll see an old print of Dunfermline Abbey, which was my family's church, but there is no Church of Scotland here. And there wasn't in the Rhineland where we had lived either. So we went to the local Protestant church there and occasionally to the Anglican church. So I was very pleased to find an Anglican church in Berlin. And when I started coming and I said that I was a musician and a singer, I was immediately drawn in to help plan the music for Holy Week and Easter. So I immediately made friends and contacts and felt that I had a home, I was involved. Then my husband started coming too, and we brought the children who attended children's church. And why we've stayed is because there's a wonderful combination of the formal liturgy and the informal elements. My favorite bit is when we share the peace. Well, not during Corona times, because we're not allowed to hug each other or shake hands, but on a normal Sunday, we would go all the way through the church during the peace and greet everybody. And there are always social events as well. People meet after church for coffee. There's a group of varying sizes goes to a local restaurant on a Sunday after church. And another main thing is there's laughter in our church. The sermons are of a very high quality. They speak to the head and the heart, and they usually contain at least one joke. So it's a very happy place to be.
Thank you. I've also always loved the peace portion of the service, and I'm sorry that we don't have it in these COVID times. What is your involvement with the congregation? You said a little bit about it, but perhaps you could say more.
Well, I've been involved in lots of different ways over the years. We've been here 24 years now. Currently, I'm involved in co-hosting the women's group, which we started up last year, and helping to run a Lent group. In previous years, I was on the church council for many years, the music committee for over 20 years, where we organized many concerts. We decided on the hymns for the services and special music. I have sung many, many times in concerts and in worship services. At the moment, during Corona, we're not allowed to sing as a congregation, so there's a group of us sharing the task of singing the hymns as solos. I was also involved in children's church when my children were small, reading, cantoring the psalm. There's a vast number of opportunities for lay ministry in St. George's. You can always find something that you're interested in, and you can initiate something as well.
Thank you very much. And my last question for you is, why should people support St. George's financially?
Well, St. George's is a kind of flagship church of the Diocese of Gibraltar, but we receive no money either from the diocese or from the German church tax system. And many years ago, we went through the process of discussing what is church, because due to a miscalculation, we thought we had to leave the building. And we realized then that we are the church is the people, and therefore we should all be contributing. Now, St. George's has lots of different fundraising activities, and we're very grateful for individual generous donations, which can help a long way to for example, special upkeep projects, the repairing of the roof or the sound system, for example. But the basic income that we get from pledging, from monthly pledges from people, is what pays the staff costs and helps the running of the building itself and of all the projects that we do, interfaith projects and so on. An important thing to know is that 10% of the pledged giving is actually given away to charities at the end of the year, and the Church Council decides which charities to support each time.
That's splendid. Thank you very much, Eleanor. This has been an extremely interesting interview, and I look forward to having more interviews by people as active as you are in the near future. Thanks.
Well, thanks for doing this, and I hope it encourages people to come and join us.